प्रभात। मैं करमवीर जडेजा
और मैं स्नेहा पटेल
आप सबका स्वागत करते हैं एट सैफ्रॉनी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी। टुडे वी आर नॉट जस्ट गैदर्ड हियर, वी आर ऑन a journey that unravels the mystery of something we encounter every day. Yet it feels like a bit of a magic. Welcome to the national seminar on AI, Boon or Bane.
Imagine AI as a super smart friend who learns, adapts, and helps us do amazing things like predicting weather, playing games, or even assisting doctors in surgeries.
But here's a twist. Some people think of AI could be like a superhero that saves the day with its superpowers, while others worry that it might become a villain, causing problems we never imagined.
And that's why we are here today to explore both sides of this exciting and sometimes scary topic.
AI isn't just about robots and drones. It's also about how we live, work, and play in a world where technology is constantly evolving.
So get ready to embark on a thrilling adventure with us as we unravel the mysteries of AI, weigh its pros and cons, and maybe even discover a few surprises along the way. But before that, as we gather here today, let us take a moment to center ourselves in the spirit of reflection and gratitude. Here at Safrani, we have a special prayer that we recite together before starting any program. So now, for that, I request all of you to kindly stand on your respective places.
Request our esteemed dignitaries to come up on the stage. Also, I request respected Priyesh Dalal sir, H.S. Patel sir, M.A. Patel sir, and Sudhir Dave sir to join them. It's a testament to the gravity of discussion we are going to have today. Each one of them represents a wealth of knowledge, experience, and commitment to steering us towards a brighter future. The presence of such luminaries on this occasion brings to mind a powerful quote. Some people dream of success, while others get up every morning and make it happen. Today, we truly are in the company of those who have turned their dreams into reality. First up, I would invite Dr. H.S. Patel, Principal, Degree Engineering, to extend a warm welcome to Sri Pankaj Kumar Gupta.
We start this seminar an enlightening journey. It's imperative that we start our event with words that inspire, guide, and set the tone for the day ahead. And for that, I would like to call upon Shri Priyesh Dalal Sir, Managing Trustee of Safrani Institute of Technology, under whose able guidance the institute is achieving newer heights. Sir, may I humbly request you to present the welcome address?
Good morning and a warm welcome, Pankaj ji, Sunny ji, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, faculty members and my dear students. Today's topic, AI, boon or bane, has generated a lot of interest and imagination. It has triggered curiosity, ignited immense debates, and has aroused anxiety amongst one and all. The advocates of boon and the prophets of doom have taken extreme stance. They have polarized the whole situation. It become a big question, is AI a boon that will transform humanity to the next level? Or is it a doom that would push the entire humanity into grief and despair? To begin with, let's enumerate on the rapid strides in the world of AI. The ability of AI-powered robots to do repetitive jobs smartly, faster, and cheaper is mind-boggling. No human can repeat that feat. The ability of AI to process huge amount of data and provide very intelligent insights on real-time basis is beyond imagination. Lot of industries across sectors have benefited out of it. The reach of AI is far and wide. It has impacted all of us in our daily lives. Let's try that with a litmus test. How many of us are using digital assistants like Apple's Siri, Amazon's Alexa, and Google Assistant to play a song for us, to set reminders, to make a phone call, to test weather conditions, to find out traffic on the road? Almost all of us. The penetration is too deep, whether we are aware about it or not. It's touched most of us. If you really try to analyze the industries and sectors which is using AI, the list is too long. It's almost unending. For example, in healthcare, as was mentioned earlier, AI is used for early detection of diseases. It's used for complicated surgeries. It's also used for drug discovery. If you come to this sector, the sector of education, AI-powered platforms are giving us individualistic teaching depending on our learning styles. AI, if it's used in a big way, it can make education affordable, it's quality education affordable and accessible to a very large audience. You name the industry, you name the sector, it's there. Along with the positive side, there are also some questions that AI has brought into our lives. These questions are related to social dilemmas and ethical considerations. First and foremost is the job losses. It's going to take away many of the jobs that we have currently. The second cause of concern is use of AI for spreading misinformation and wrong propaganda. I think some time back, we all are aware of deepfake, wherein one leading actress, her face was changed, her voice manipulated by AI. The third consideration is the biases in AI algorithms, which can inadvertently perpetuate societal inequalities. And the biggest problem is AI surpassing human intelligence. It's a case of servant turning into a rogue that could become a challenge to entire humanity. Today we are standing at the inflection point of AI-triggered transformation. It would be insane to think of a world without AI. It's ruled out. The solution lies in judicious use of AI. AI has to be sensitive to societal and ethical implications. We'll have to approach this problem in a very matured and practical way. AI will have to use AI with responsibility. It will have to ensure maximum benefit and welfare to most of the mankind. It will have to ensure that the risks are mitigated, and it will have to ensure that the development of AI aligns with the values of the community. I again welcome and thank our esteemed speakers today, Pankaj Bhai and Sunny Bhai, to dwell us much deeper and educate us in this journey. Thank you all for joining us in this enlightening endeavor. Thank you.
Sure. चलिए शुरू करते हैं because we just can't wait to listen to our esteemed guest speakers. Today we have the honor of learning about artificial intelligence from the individuals who have significantly shaped the way technology is used to benefit the society.
जी हाँ, हमारे आज के फर्स्ट स्पीकर श्री पंकज कुमार गुप्ता सर एक अकम्प्लिश्ड प्रोफेशनल है जिनके पास 29 प्लस इयर्स का डाइवर्स एक्सपीरियंस है और वो भी आईटी इंडस्ट्री के कुल मिला के 25 से भी ज़्यादा एरियाज़ का, जैसे कि ग्लोबल डिलीवरी ऑपरेशंस,
Sales and marketing,
टेक्नोलॉजी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन,
client relationships,
स्ट्रेटेजिक एंड ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल कंसल्टिंग,
infrastructure planning,
financing and what not. Not only in India but internationally, Sir has played a crucial role in developing and improving how technology is used in government offices and services.
उन्होंने बहुत सारे लीडरशिप रोल्स को संभाला है, वो भी नेशनल और इंटरनेशनल लेवल्स प्रोजेक्ट पर, और he has played a key role in e-governance initiatives since 1996.
ये वह व्यक्तित्व है जिन्होंने $multi-million प्रोजेक्ट्स को सक्सेसफुली इम्प्लीमेंट किया है. इसके अलावा उन्होंने TCS गुजरात सेंटर की 100 लोगों की छोटी टीम को सिर्फ 10 साल में ही 8,000 से भी ज़्यादा एम्प्लॉइज़ वाला सेंटर बनाने में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है।
And also, he was awarded with the Captain of the Year 2009 and 2010 for outstanding contribution in the company growth and success by the Director Manager and also the CEO of the TCS board.
श्री पंकज कुमार गुप्ता सर एक ऐसी पर्सनालिटी है जो हमें टेक्नोलॉजी को सोसाइटी के बेटरमेंट के लिए यूज़ करने में प्रेरित करते हैं। Today, we have the privilege of learning from his vast experiences and insightful perspectives. With great pleasure, we welcome a truly remarkable personality, our first speaker, Shri Pankaj Kumar Gupta, an information technology consultant at the World Bank IBRD. Everyone, please join me in giving him a warm and resounding welcome. Please.
Ritesh sir, for inviting me to share my experience and also setting a very good context on the subject that you have chosen, AI, boon or the bane. Are we going to have the presentation somewhere? Are you going to pop up? So while they put up the presentation, let me take a side step and ask you, why are you all in this college? You are here to make careers, right? Employment. But employment to India में कम है ना? हाँ या ना? Yes. There is a problem of employment. Let me emphatically tell you, no. There is no problem of employment. There is plenty of employment opportunities available everywhere. I'm not talking about government sector, but definitely private sector. Have you ever seen number of seats being declared by Infosys, TCS, Google, or anybody? They don't have ceiling. They say, as many good people as are available in the market, I will take them. So why are you here again? AI, boon or bane, is just one topic. There can be many more such topics. And what I want to start off with is, please open up yourself, build your own capabilities, build your own interpretations. Unfortunately, common sense is not very common. 100 साल पहले हमारे जो बुजुर्ग थे, उन्होंने दुनिया बहुत अच्छी तरह चलाई। वो तो इतने पढ़े लिखे नहीं थे। तो क्या पढ़ा लिखा होना उनसे बेटर होना नहीं होना चाहिए? तो आज हम क्यों स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं? बिकॉज वी डोंट अप्लाई आवरसेल्व्स, वी डोंट थिंक, वी आर जस्ट रीडिंग. सो द नेक्स्ट 30-40 minutes or 2 hours you should deploy in thinking how you bring value. आप क्या समझते हैं, आप क्या वैल्यू दे सकते हैं, and you will be employed if you create and contribute value. पिछले 30 साल हम लोगों ने शेप किया इस इंडस्ट्री को, पॉलिसी को, यूटिलाइजेशन को, और हम लोग बाहर जा रहे हैं और वक्त आप लोगों का है. अगले 25-30 साल आप लोग रूल करोगे इस देश को, आप लोग इस देश को शेप करोगे, आप लोग इस देश की अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्रिएट करोगे, आप लोग इसकी वैल्यू कंट्रीब्यूशन करोगे. और इसीलिए मैं यहाँ आया हूँ टू टॉक टू यू एंड टेल यू देयर आर प्लेंटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज. प्लीज राइज टू द ओकेजन, build your capacities, build your differentials, build value addition contributions, and you will be at the top of the world. So that is the message I wanted to give before I start off. So let me come to my specific topic. So first thing, you have all heard about AI, but what is AI? What is AI? How do we define AI? If I were to define, AI is nothing but huge data, use and analysis of huge data, understanding patterns in the data, training models on that data, and the output that you generate is AI. So AI is not just one word. It is built up of 4 stages. And hence, when you talk about AI, you should have mastery on data analytics, databases, pattern recognition, machine learning, predictions, and that is what is AI. And here I would like to bring this topic again to you. Is artificial intelligence is like fire, good or bad? If you put it in your gas, it cooks your food. If you put it at your house, swaha. Same thing with knife. You cut fruits, you use it against a human body, your choice. Nuclear power, electricity generation, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. AI is the same thing. AI is a tool, is a technology. Use it for the purpose you want, and you can make. So, Pritesh ji ne bataya tha, deep fakes is an abuse, is a misuse of the technology. So, technology का गुनाह है? Technology का नहीं है, user का problem है. And you have to learn how the users can make it. Have you ever heard about ANI and AGIs? What are we talking about? What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence. And what we had and what our forefathers had? Human intelligence. Just correlate, it's very commonsensical, no big science behind that. बच्चा छोटा सा होता है, घर में सुनता है, पानी एक एक अक्षर सुनता है. He starts learning, he picks up things. As he grows through his life, he keeps learning. आप लोग भी सीख रहे हो. फेसेस देखते हो, पहचान लेते हो, पैटर्न्स देखते हो, पहचान लेते हो, राइट? सो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज नथिंग बट आदमी ने वो अपना दिमाग ट्राई किया है मशीन को देने का. एंड हेंस व्हाट इज द लिमिटेशन ऑफ एआई? It can do only as much as a human mind can train a machine, right? AI by itself is nothing. AI is limited by the ability of human mind to train a machine. And hence, who is superior? Human mind. And it's always going to be so. Unless really something revolutionary happens after 5 years or 10 years, which are being talked about, I am a strong believer of the fact that it will always be inferior to human mind. And if it's going to be inferior to human mind, again an opportunity for you for value creation. आपके पास ह्यूमन माइंड है ना, मशीन के पास तो नहीं है. तो उस मशीन को उतना अच्छा बनाओ कि इट इमिटेट्स ह्यूमन माइंड. इट इमिटेट्स, इट गिव्स यू रिजल्ट्स एज क्लोज टू ह्यूमन माइंड्स एज पॉसिबल. सो व्हाट इज artificial narrow intelligence? Have you heard of this word or no? No hands. Okay. Artificial narrow intelligence is a weak AI. Depends on the data you give it. Depends on the way you train it. Depends on the way you program it. Depends on the way you put the algorithms. It's a narrow intelligence. So what is ChatGPT? Sorry? Is it narrow or is it general? Very good. ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, all of these are narrow intelligence. They are trained on data. अब हम लोग बॉक डाउन हो जाते हैं कि अरे उसके पास ट्रिलियंस ऑफ डेटा, ट्रिलियंस ऑफ डेटा पॉइंट्स एंड पेंटाबाइट का डेटा है. So what? But still narrow. Because it is trained on a limited set of data, even if that data set is very, very huge. Right? So all the tools that you hear about are narrow intelligence. And what is AGI example today? Any example of AGI? Luckily for all of us, none. Because human mind is the only one which is general intelligence. With ChatGPT, can it process images? Can it process voice? The ones that can process deep fakes, that can process voice and images, can it process data, text, numbers? But human mind कितना powerful है? Number बोलो, picture बोलो, color बोलो, image, voice, video. General intelligence, I learn everything. I can speak on any topic. I can recognize anybody and everybody. हमारा इंटेलिजेंस आप ये देखो कि when I see a child of 5 years and when I see him at the age of 50, I start saying, I've seen this guy. What is that? That's a pattern that my mind has learnt. Right? So I'm trying to extrapolate. मेरे को किसी ने सिखाया तो नहीं, 50 साल का फोटो तो दिखाया नहीं. So that is what is AGI. So I want you all to be on the same page that you are all working on ANI. Right? Arena Hinz, a professor of Integrative Biology and Computer Science Engineering at Michigan says there are 4 types of AIs. Reactive machines. What are reactive machines? Actuators. Sunlight इतनी हो गई है, लाइट चालू कर दो. Man passes by, gate खोल दो. Right? There are actuators like automators. You give a command, it meets a condition. That's reactive AI. What is limited memory? We talked about self-driving cars. Something that stores the memory, autopilots. उसके अंदर limited memory है. Mind you, I am using the word limited memory. It has memory required for its operations. That is why it is limited memory. Third is difficult. What is theory of mind? Theory of mind is about emotions. So have you seen computer or robo playing football? Attempts are being made. Chess, yes. But football? No. Why? Because when you play football, the player is watching the eyes, the direction, the position of his leg, his body behavior in anticipating or predicting what direction he is going to kick the ball. I am also assessing his speed. कितनी speed से वो दौड़ के आ रहा है. And that varies, right? He is running at 1 meter a second speed से लेके 5 meter, 10 meter a second पे speed पे भी दौड़ेगा. So I have to very iteratively adjust my response and reaction to it, and that is why AI has still not reached that stage. So theory of mind is about studying emotions. We talked about application of AI in medicine. So I go to a doctor, he presses my hand and says, "Dard ho raha hai," and I say, "No." But he looks at my face, right? और face में मैं ये कह रहा हूँ नहीं हो रहा है, right? How can AI learn that? Emotions. Abhi emotions में there are sentiment analysis that is coming up, which is not very good, but still it's trying to catch up. But it's very difficult because emotions कितने होते हैं? I don't know, हजारों होते होंगे ना? हजारों emotions हैं. How can you train? And everybody's reaction on the same emotion is different. आप हंस रहे हो, it could be sarcastic, it could be with pleasure, it could be because you enjoyed. How does a machine understand? So it's difficult. And the last one is still far difficult, called self-awareness, which if it comes will be the most dangerous thing in the world. That is when the machine starts realizing कि मैं कहाँ हूँ, मेरी capability कहाँ तक जा रही है, and can I replace human beings? So I don't know, there was a very old movie about 10 years back called iRobo, not the modern one, iRobo, where a robo is trained so much so that at the end of the movie, robo actually controls the world. They have taken over human race. They are dictating human beings कि आपको क्या करना है. But that was a fiction. We are scared, and I believe that should take at least your generations also before the AIs come to that level. So I'll now come to the basic point. Rather, let me first go to the first slide. So have you heard about these disasters? Any one of these that anybody has heard about it? Let me read out. Biased algorithmic decisions in criminal justice. हम लोग सोचते हैं कि क्रिमिनल जो होता है वो गरीब होता है, गंदा दिखता है, he is not beautiful and smart, right? ये ह्यूमन परसेप्शन है. आप किसी को भी देखोगे तो क्रिमिनल देख के आपके दिमाग में परसेप्शन बनता है एक, एंड परसेप्शन डेटा में है, और डेटा इज यूज्ड फॉर जनरेटिंग एआई आउटपुट्स. तो एआई आउटपुट क्या होगा? गलत, बायस्ड. अभी आपने पढ़ा ना, जॉर्ज वॉशिंगटन अमेरिका के कौन थे? ही वाज द फर्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ अमेरिका. Then the user wanted them to give the picture of George Washington. क्या problem हो गई? You know about that incident or no? So the Gemini generated a black George Washington. What was the problem? This AI, generative AI, are very good in using data. But when you ask them to imagine, they'll put in a picture. So he said, give me a image of George Washington. So what the machine thought is, he's asking me to create a picture. Now, create a picture mein, already people know there is bias against dark people, there is bias against genders. तो चैट जीपीटी ने रिएक्ट ऐसे किया, आई शुड नॉट शो बायस टुवर्ड्स डार्क पीपल, एंड हेंस ही जनरेटेड अ डार्क जॉर्ज वॉशिंगटन. उसकी गलती है, हमारी गलती है, बिकॉज हमने डेटा उसको वही दिया है, और डेटा देने के बाद ह्यूमन माइंड ने उसको कंस्ट्रेंट्स दिए हैं कि डोंट हैव बायस, डोंट शो बायस, डोंट शो दिस, डोंट शो दैट. तो उसने क्रिएट कर दिया ब्लैक जॉर्ज वॉशिंगटन, एंड द वर्ल्ड इज अप्रोर. जॉर्ज वॉशिंगटन काला तो था ही नहीं भाई, वो तो गोरा था, अमेरिकन था. सो दैट इज द क्लासिक डिजास्टर. ऑटोमेटेड व्हीकल एक्सीडेंट्स बाय उबर, हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ दिस? उबर got a license to operate in California, driverless car. It went on the footpath. But a bigger issue, and that is where you should understand, Google is also working on it and Tesla is also working on the same thing. अब आदमी जब चला रहा है गाड़ी और एक बच्चा और एक बूढ़ा अगर आगे है, तो what would the driver do? ब्रेक फेल हो गया. You have to make a choice, right? And every individual will make a different choice. मैं सोचूंगा बच्चे को बचा लूं. I'm in constraint. मतलब if I have a choice to save both, I'll save both. But assuming I'm in a situation where I can't save both, and then human minds will react differently. Somebody will feel, let me save the child and hit the old man. Somebody will say, child has 50 more years or 70 more years of life, will be the future of this. He will say, old man is, required because he's supporting a family, and he'll hit the child. Very, very dilemmatic situation, right? You don't have an answer. But जब आपके दिमाग में ही आंसर नहीं है, तो आप मशीन को क्या ट्रेन करोगे? ड्राइविंग कार, ऑटोनोमस कार है, उसको तो आपको ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा ना. क्या करे वो दोनों सिचुएशन में? You have to take one call, right? And that idiot machine will do every time the same thing. Right? अगर आपने उसको कहा कि बच्चे को करना है, तो हर बार बच्चे को करेगा. अगर आपने उसको ट्रेन किया, बूढ़े को करना है तो, is that the right way? But a bigger problem. The moment I train the machine to choose between the two, I invite a criminal case against myself. Because what I'm doing is I'm designing a machine to kill someone. Am I not? What do? What Google car and Tesla did? धीरे कर दिया प्रोजेक्ट, बोले हमें आगे नहीं जाना. They don't want to land up in jail because this is planning killing somebody, right? But then you have to make a choice. But हम लोग तो 100 साल से गाड़ी चला रहे हैं, और ये इंसिडेंसेस, ऐसी सिचुएशन सबके सामने आई होगी कभी ना कभी, और लोगों ने डिसीजंस लिए हैं, जो हुआ है. बट देयर इज नो स्टैंडर्ड डायरेक्शन. कभी ड्राइविंग स्कूल में ये सिखाया नहीं गया है कि आप ये करो या ये करो. इट इज योर ओन नेचुरल रिएक्शन एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम. हो सकता है कंट्रोल नहीं हुआ, हो सकता है आपने डेलिब्रेट लिया, जो भी है. सो लॉन्ग एज इट इज नॉट अ predetermined decision, it is not crime. It can be crime on the other aspect, but not a predetermined crime. So that is where it's very important. Autonomous vehicles, surveillance technologies. California is the only state in US and the world which has stopped use of CCTV surveillance. You know that? Why? It's very dangerous. I am moving in your campus, I am moving across the streets, I am going anywhere. Privacy is not necessarily important just because I am doing something wrong. Privacy is also privacy. I don't want anybody to know what I am doing. May not necessarily कि मैं हर बार गलती काम को छुपा रहा हूँ, मैं तो सही काम को भी छुपाना चाहता हूँ. मैं मंदिर जाता हूँ, I don't want everybody to know I am a religious bhakt. That's my private issue, right? मैं एक मंदिर जाता हूँ या दूसरे मंदिर जाता हूँ, या मेरा faith क्या है, मैं चर्च गया. Why should people in the world know that I went to church and I went to mandir and I went to this and that? That's my privacy, right? Surveillance is invading privacy. Deepfakes, we already talked about. Pritesh ji ने बताया, and I'm sure cyber security में he'll cover. Deepfake is the biggest challenge that we are going to face. Amazon's AI recruitment tool, Bias, have you heard about it? Amazon was using AI tool to shortlist candidates for interview based on the CV, because हजारों लाखों CV आते थे. How do they do that? So based on the past data, the recommendation engine was only promoting or selecting, shortlisting male candidates. Because historically male candidates ही आते थे. Bias हो गया ना? What have the other gender done wrong to Amazon? So you are a victim. But they stopped using it. Flawed facial recognition. AI interview में आया, we have cameras in the interview assembly hall. We are trying to analyze behavior. Abhi analyze behavior, there are some people who just get nervous because there is an interview. Not necessarily that they are short of confidence. But behavior ऐसा होता है, किसी का BP बढ़ जाता है, किसी का अलग अलग तरीके से बढ़ता है, but that's not the real interpretation of the behavior. But जब machine से करते हैं, तो you have a standard output for a standard feature. Facebook's algorithm hate speech. Facebook की algorithm में negative sentiments काफ़ी चले गए, so they had to put a stop on AI. Google का photo racial misidentification. They can't do dark photos versus white photos. Microsoft का Tay chatbot, and then IBM's Watson healthcare recommendation failures. They started giving wrong recommendations for oncology patients. Because a doctor determines क्या देना है. Oncology is oncology, cancer is cancer, but cancer की various stages होती हैं, various conditions होती हैं. Watson was trained very well, still it was making wrong recommendations. And would you, मतलब like they have to shut it down. Because एक आदमी को भी गलत recommendation दे दिया, वो आदमी तो गया. Another classic case is of Canadian Airlines. They created a chatbot, a wonderful chatbot. What was the database? Refund policy. Refund policies of all the airlines in the world. So a person asked, can I get a refund for my ticket? And the chatbot says, yes, 100%. We'll make alternate flight arrangements, we'll give you hotel accommodations, we'll give you pickup, home, drop, everything. Chatbot gave a wonderful answer. Because it had a bias. It was trained to give customer-friendly responses. So it gave a customer-friendly responses. That fellow went to airline and said, this is what your AI chatbot told. They said, no, rubbish. You'll lose all your money. He went to the court. Court granted him. The Canadian Airlines shut down its AI chatbot. बोले ये तो loss हो रहा है. So there are many. Abhi, day before last week, have you heard about Biden giving call to his citizens in one of the states where elections were held? एक state में election हो रहा था. अभी last week की बात है. And all the citizens in that particular region got a voice call of Biden saying आज election नहीं है, next week है. What happens? People will not go and vote. And who will not go and vote? His supporters. So luckily somebody rang Biden and he put it on his X saying there's a deep fake which is coming in and it's a not correct thing. So these are some of the disasters, and there are many, many disasters that you can go and look at website. हजारों मिलेंगे. Latest तो अभी आपने देखा ना Gemini का. You heard about that Gemini also, right? Nazi related. I don't want to quote that example here. So is AI a future or a threat? So let me first handle future. Why are we talking about AI? AI is automating things, improving outputs. So it brings automation. काफ़ी सारा automation लाता है, fast processing करता है, accurate processing करता है. We need AI for automation. We need AI for personalization. अगर मैं male हूँ, I am aged XYZ, I am working in so and so area, why should the search engine throw me products or information that is not relevant to me? So your Google search gives you a personalized data. Improved safety. There are a lot of mining operations, unsafe operations, disastrous operations, unsafe conditions, जहाँ पे हम robots को use करते हैं. That is safety. And hence we need AI. Precision. Precision, finance mein precision is working very well, though it's not tested fully. But precision de raha hai, accuracy de raha hai for huge volumes of data. One of the applications that a lot of people are developing is sonography, X-ray and MRI images are being trained so that the diagnosis is expected to be better than a physical doctor. And that is possible only because they will be training on millions of records and they are expecting that it will be better. Emerging carriers, it is a blend technology. You will have to, enhance your skills. There will be opportunities to apply. And the best part is there is no legacy. There is no competitor for you. अगर आपने नया आइडिया ले लिया, just move with it. Because nobody in the past ever knew what AI was. Nobody even today, like अगर आप कहते हो कि मैं AI use करके मेरे को reproduce करके you can get a speaker, I don't think I can say you are wrong. Every idea is welcome so long as it's thought through, so long as you have a plan to execute and you are able to execute and test the results. So today there is nothing called right and wrong. Everything is a concept, everything is an idea. It all depends on how you execute it. A very good idea can be a disaster, and a very stupid idea can be actually a grand success. It is going to manage global implications, international cooperation. Okay, international cooperation is very important. UNESCO, UN are working towards setting international standards. आज एक देखिए ना पे स्टैंडर्ड क्या है, एप्पल का पिन अलग है, एंड्रॉइड का अलग है. जो लोग ट्रैवल करते हैं उनको पता होगा 5 तरह के इलेक्ट्रिकल पिन्स बैग में लेके घूमते हैं. कहीं पे फ्लैट है, कहीं पे राउंड है, इंडिया में कुछ है, कहीं पे कुछ है. राइट? मेडिकल स्टैंडर्ड्स. Indian doctors are not allowed to practice in US or UK. You know that? Engineers are allowed, but doctors are not allowed. They have to undergo a fresh, studies. Of course, 5 साल की जगह 3 साल का कोर्स करना पड़ेगा, but करना पड़ेगा, because standardization नहीं है. Integration into healthcare, education, finance is transforming industries. Democratization. What has changed in the last 10 years? You are becoming powerful. You have a choice. आप आज ढूंढिए कौन से होटल में जाना है, 50 होटल निकल के आएंगे. You decide किस डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, 50 निकलेंगे. किस एयरलाइन से जाना है, 50 ऑप्शंस मिलेंगे. You are empowered. Data is available. You have a choice to choose. That is what is data democratization. It's no longer, I think 10 years back people used to say data is very powerful and people having data are rich. Yes, but now everybody is rich. It's with everybody. Diagnostics, environmental monitoring and conservation, predictive analysis for climate change are some of the examples of why AI has a very good future. But very importantly, where are we heading for? AI domination over humans because of its ability to multitask and reduce time for data heavy tasks and give consistent results. What is it doing? It's replacing human beings in some spaces, right? And rightly so. Rightly so. कुछ repetitive काम है, risky काम है, data heavy काम है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, multitasking है. Machines are able to do it better, faster, cheaper, reliable way. But Stephen Hawking once said, the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of human race. Now this is a bane. We have to control this fire, we have to control this nuclear power, we have to control this knife to see that AI doesn't replace human beings. And that is why it says AI has a potential to completely replace human beings and can interrupt human presence. As I said, the movie that I saw 10 years back, iRobot, actually started commanding people, started commanding the scientists who were developing them, started telling the scientists, ये program गलत है, ये algorithm गलत है, change this, change this, change this. And when the scientists refused, the robot modified the code and became powerful. So why is it a threat? It is threat to future because of the issues around ethical bias in AI algorithms. It has potential to reinforce and even exacerbate pre-existing biases. Transparency and explainability. This is very important. You apply for a loan, and AI will run the engine and tell you you are not eligible for loan. Are you satisfied? When you encounter a person, you'll say, "Kyun?" But AI models don't explain. The moment you are able to explain, you will accept it, right? He will say, "Bhai, you don't have enough balance, or your income is not sufficient for you to get the loan, or you are a defaulter, or whatever XYZ reasons, because of which your loan is being denied." So today, AI models are not able to give that clear answer. And that is why transparency and explainability is missing. What is adversarial attack? I'll again refer, you should watch some movies. San Andreas is a very good movie, available on Netflix. It's about a scientist predicting earthquakes. And the sequence of, disturbances in the whole region. And the movie is about how he used data to predict the earthquake. But what was the problem? And the picture is about authorities not believing him. Why authorities were not believing him? Because they felt the data that is used by the scientists to predict the earthquake is probably not correct. Now I'll give you a live example. Go back to your Google cars or autonomous cars. You have defined an image as a tree, or let me take another example. Green, red, and orange. The car has to stop at red, start up at orange, and move through green. Now, if I change the data interpretation and say green is stop and red is green, possible? Because somebody has quoted it, right? I'll change the interpretation. That's the adversarial effect. What will the data do? What will the engine do? Engine will behave, says green is stop and red is move. Ho gaya accident. That is adversarial effect, adversarial attack. So earthquake predictions, I'll have IoT sensors to understand vibrations or whatever ground sensors, sensitizations are there. And what if somebody hacks that device and starts sending a negative signal? Wrong data. Nothing wrong with AI. AI model is well designed, but I'm getting wrong data. And wrong data may wrong results, disasters. So adversarial attacks are another big problem. Job displacements is a big concern. The answer is yes and no. Current skills will be replaced. That is why I'm using the word not job losses, but job displacements. You have to change your skills. Privacy concerns, we already talked about it, but I think cybersecurity can talk more about it. They are dealing with huge volumes of data, right? And they have the potential of misusing my data. Dependencies and de-skilling. You have to de-skill. You have to reduce your dependency. मोबाइल नंबर सब किसको याद रहते हैं? पृथ्वी सर को याद होगा 25 साल पहले हमको मोबाइल नंबर तो छोड़ो, लैंडलाइन नंबर्स 50-100 याद रहते थे. आज आप भी भूल गए होंगे सर, मैं भी भूल गया. बिकॉज मोबाइल ने हमें डिपेंडेंट बना दिया, हमारे माइंड्स को यूटिलाइजेशन कम करके माई मेमोरी पोर्शन ऑन द नंबर्स इज वीक. और आई कैन रैटल आउट 20 का टेबल, 19 8s 19 7s. आई डोंट थिंक कितने जने यहाँ बोल सकते हैं 19 का टेबल? शायद कोई भी नहीं, बिकॉज एवरीबडी हैज अ कैलकुलेटर. व्हाई शुड यू लोड योर माइंड, राइट? नो प्रॉब्लम. But that is where dependency in de-skilling is very important. You have to see that machines don't overtake, you don't become dependent, you don't lose your skills. One of the biggest problems that academicians should be complaining is we used to write 2 पेज के आंसर लिखते थे. आजकल तो how are you का are you. The skills of writing are lost. I don't know, after 100 years or 20 years somebody will say, आज तो सब कहते हैं यार, why should I write so much? ठीक है, वो कार्बन होता है, ये होता है, वो होता है, that's fine. But the art of writing, the art of poem, the art of communication, and I'll here permit me to say, there was a Hindi movie, मैंने प्यार किया, right? Can anybody give me an English version of that? Translate that word. मैंने प्यार किया एक हिंदी word है. It has a sentiment, it has a message, it has a communication. आप बोलिए इंग्लिश में इसका translation. Think about it as a exercise. and then send me wherever you can. AI potential for weaponization. Professor Robert Sturt at Berkeley has already developed 3-inch size के robo attackers. They can be pre-configured and released, and they'll identify and hit the guy on the head. And he is the one who started this ethical practice for AI. The technology is there, I can create weapons. And weapons can be remotely attacked. आजकल मालूम है ना, warfare is not about physical people going with gun and top and all those things. They are sitting thousands of miles away. America is sitting at some place and playing, contesting war in the Middle East. What are we doing? Technology is very good. So the only thing works is police ka danda, government ka law, regulations, where we will again go back and say our liberties are being constrained, our liberties are being curtailed, but that's the necessity, right? We will have to curtail because deepfakes are very dangerous. And hence, there are two big efforts that has already happened. There is a Brussels regulations. This is the headquarter of European Union. They've already come out with an act. India is still contemplating. It proposes AI Act, which sets a global benchmark for AI governance and categorizes AI systems based on the risk levels to human rights. So जितना भी potential human rights को impact है, उसको उन्होंने scoring दिया है 0 से 10 का. And the provision says stringent requirements for high-risk AI applications, such as those in policing, education, employment. So anybody releasing an application in the high-risk area will have a severe penalty and a severe control and a severe approval thing, and it will come down. So it's allowing you both the things, flexibility as well as, controls. And the next big thing that has happened, as always, is Israel. Jerusalem Declaration. Israel is always in the forefront of technology. And the Jerusalem also more or less the same thing. And they say it's not a law, but a set of guidelines. They have not put a law. They say it's a guideline. Now, I don't know how many of you understand the difference between law and a guideline. Guidelines cannot be enforced. Guidelines are volunteered. But I'm sure Israel will come up with subsequent, immediately उन्होंने stop नहीं किया है. And the core principle is importance of transparency, privacy, non-discrimination and accountability. So they are saying guidelines दे दिए हैं आपको, and you have to be following these things. And if we find you guilty, you may be facing the music on that. So last that I want to cover here is, what do you do to prevent AI? One of the foremost things is, you should select your data. The second is vectorization of data. Have you heard of the word vectorization of data? So today when you run AI models, they pick up the entire database that is available in the internet. Right, wrong, all kinds of interpretation, verified, unverified, all kinds of data that is there. Vectorization of data is shortlisting the data which is closely related and relevant to the query that is being offered. So the first step that will come in is this AI models will stop using the huge database, but they'll start first shortlisting the database based on which they'll run their models. So that is very, very important. They have to come up with this. And the last, what is that Gemini has done after the last fortnight's disaster? They have now given a choice to the user to fine-tune the results of the query if you don't agree. So GPTs are now, the models are now coming out and saying, they started off by saying, I can do everything for you. Trust me. They have taken a back seat. They are saying, don't trust us. We are just helping you. If you think the results are not as per your expectations, change it. And hence they have set up something called red teams, REDTEAMS. Red teams are set up by all the AI companies, and what they do is, machine testing is definitely a prerequisite before releasing all the models. But red teams are individuals, disguised individuals spread across the world who keep testing multiple queries on multiple things. And to last it all, AI is very good when you have a specific data. It's terrible when you ask it to imagine things, because imagination is something the best human mind can do, not machines. So I think with this, I thank you all for a patient hearing and look forward that you all will change yourself. So after 20 years, when we are old, we should be proud that you are the guys who are running and driving this country. And AI is actually a boon for this country. Thank you very much.
So we can see the enthusiasm by looking at the questions we have received. And to moderate this, now I would like to invite Sri Sudhir Dave sir to take away the Q&A session.
Morning, everybody. We have received many questions, but considering the time constraints, I have selected 3 questions, and I would request Gupta ji to interact with the questioner and answer. The first question is from the faculty, Simran Sharma. The question is, with rise of the artificial intelligence and automation, how do you see the role of IT consultants evolving in the next decade, and what opportunities and challenges do you anticipate for professionals in this field?
To ChatGPT. Very difficult to answer, so I'll give my own answer. Always opportunities if you are able to bring in the right value. IT consultant ho, programmer ho, whosoever it is, you have to, I said, in fact, I'll just bring in one more. There's some professor from Israel called Professor Hariri. He's a historian. You have read the book 21 Lessons for 21st Century? How many of you have read? Sir, I would request the faculty to please conduct a class on 21 Lessons for 21st Century by Professor Harari. He's the most heard speaker in the world by the likes of McKinsey's, Google's, Microsoft, everybody. And he is a historian by qualification. And look at the way he's predicted the future. So what he says is, one of the questions he says, आप बच्चों को आज ABCD 1 2 3 4 पढ़ा रहे हो class 4 5 6 में, right? Sorry, class 1 2 3 में. We are teaching him history, teaching them physics, teaching them maths. 20 साल बाद क्या काम आएगा? Everything is on the net. Why should you load your mind? So the answer to your question is, there's nothing set as a constraint for you. You decide what you want to do, justify that, drive it, and that's the way it is. So all consultants, professionals have a bright future, so long they are relevant and bringing value to what they say. I don't know if I've answered that question. The better answer probably ChatGPT can give you.
The second question is from Snehal Suresh. There are many companies who are creating AI chips to install in human brain. So, is this experiments are in the way an advantage or disadvantage?
This is like 10 years back we heard about China creating a human clone, right? The world did not progress, the technology did. So there are regulations that ban creation of human clones. Embedding chips in human minds is similar attempt. The technology exists. What is it going to do? It's going to be embedded in your mind and learn your patterns, your behaviors, your thoughts to whatever extent it can. But then, can I manipulate the outputs of that chip? The answer is yes. So, is it good or bad? I don't know. But ethically, it should be banned. It should not be allowed to use, because while the good part of it is persons suffering from Alzheimer's or such kind of diseases, they will benefit a lot, because they are the people who lose their ability to think and act and other things. But for 99% of the population, you don't need such devices. But you will have to drive whether you want it or not. Sir.
Third question is from Muhammad Adil. What will be the next step in AI domain after generative AI?
Specific AI. See, generative AI is an all-purpose, claimed to be an all-purpose. It uses huge databases, right? And gives you all kinds of answers, right and wrong, misleading and rightful, all kinds of answers. So this is actually right now, the technology evolved and we have started playing with it. Everybody is playing, everybody wants to have the first mover advantage. Everybody says, I'm using ChatGPT. People are applying for MS programs and they write their SOPs using ChatGPT, right? हाँ या ना? जितनों ने ChatGPT से लिखा है वो सब reject हो जाएंगे. Because those colleges also know what ChatGPT can do, right? So the point that I'm making is, what is the question, sir? Last part?
What will be the next step
Haan.
in AI domain?
So next step, sorry sir.
After generative
Yeah.
AI.
So next step would be specific AI. And that is where the way models or markets are evolving are domain specific AI. So there will be a medical AI, whether within medical AI there will be an oncology AI, there will be a gynec AI, there will be an orthopedic AI, there will be a legal domain AI, there will be history AI, there will be an education AI. So they will be, the same technologies will be used on curated sets of authentic data to generate similar results. Today when you do Google, you get 20,000 sites, right? Doesn't make sense. So tomorrow the market, and already things have started. A lot of big players are working in specific domain AIs because AI is too deep rooted and it needs very high level of training before it can imitate a human mind. So from generative, it will actually go to common purpose AI to specific purpose AI.
On behalf of the Safroni Parivar, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for sharing your expertise and insights.
Through this session, we have gained a deeper understanding of the potential and the challenges imposed by the AI, in which we have learned about the types of AI and the future that can be a threat to. So thank you once again for your invaluable contribution to our learning journey.
While words fall short to express our full gratitude, we would like to present this small token of gratitude as a memento. I request Sri Sudhir Dave to present the token of gratitude to Sri Pankaj Kumar Gupta.